from your past interview, it seems that you are not a big fan of At War with Satan.
Myself, yes.
What is the problem about it?
Oh,
I love it.
I know. It's a personal thing. It was just, I was very proud of Welcome to Hell. Very proud of Black Metal. At War with Satan and Possessed.
Can I tell you what the problem was?
I just didn't do it.
It's very Jeff had lost any impetus. He had lost any mojo.
It was down to
and the point was
personality.
he stayed around during those 2 albums without really wanting to. So we got 2 albums which were basically half-arsed, and that's why those albums sound that way. It's just
because of the way the success happened for Venom. It was literally overnight. We were rehearsing in a church hall in the West End of Newcastle on one weekend. The next weekend we were in a sports hall in Belgium in front of 3,000 fans. It was that quick. It was literally...
We carried the equipment into the studio, and it was a lot of stairs. It was like 8 sets of stairs. And I was halfway up with a bass drum when the guy from the studio came out and we were going to do a demo, some demo songs, second set of demos. We were halfway up the stairs and the guy went, have you got enough songs to like make an album? We were like, kind of. And he went, okay, well, don't bother doing a demo, just record the songs properly. And I was like halfway up the stairs, so there was no preparation to record an album. We just went in to knock a demo out. We were going to do 3 songs, and he said, have you got enough? And we went, because obviously you don't, when a guy from a record company is asking you that, you don't say no. You assume there's a deal on the table, and you think, okay, let's do it. And that's how it happened, that's how the whole thing happened.
But for me, like I say, I was essentially ready to leave the band after Black Metal, and it was nothing to do with music or anything like that. It was down to personalities in the band. And like I say, that is probably because of the speed of the success. And as Abaddon says, I mean, I did stay a lot longer than I intended to.
The point was that when you do get that big quickly, you start to believe, or some people start to believe their own press. So if he starts saying, you know, I'm the blah 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 and Hades and Mayhem and this kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, but then when we finish doing the interview, we come back in the backstage room, you're still Jeff.
Yeah.
The other person in the band couldn't do that. When he was getting feedback saying, my God, this is crazy, you're fucking God of Hellfire, all this shit, he couldn't step down from that. As he walked away, he would still be talking to us as if we were in the middle of an interview. And it's like, hang on, you're Conrad. You're just Conrad. You went to school in fucking the northeast of England, your dad worked wherever, you know, you drove the fucking bus. You're just a regular guy. Don't act like that with me. When we're together, we all act like that because that's the act. We are entertainers.
I think that's it.
You need to take it off. You know,
Max von Sydow plays the exorcist in the film The Exorcist, but he's not really an exorcist.
Yeah.
He's an actor who played.
And don't forget, Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't really a Terminator.
What?
What about Sarah Connor?
Yeah, Black Metal had a preview of At War with Satan at the end of the album.
Yeah.
So you already had a concept of that long song.
There was already ideas there. The thing is with At War with Satan for me, I think it's a good album. I don't think it's a great album. Well, I think Welcome to Hell is a great album.
Yeah.
I always said if you can, in retrospect, it's easy to say these things. You can always look back. But the album that should have come after Black Metal, ideally, would have been Primeval.
Primeval, definitely.
And if you think about it, if you put on a non Venom fan type of head, that makes perfect sense. Welcome to Hell, Black Metal, Primeval, makes perfect sense.
So what was the reason to do that long song for At War with Satan? It was very rare, even today.
Yeah.
You do not see many thrash metal bands do that.
It was somebody's version of 2112. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think it was just it was an attempt to see what would happen. And to me, what did happen was it was a jumble of riffs thrown together, cascaded into a, and then, you know, called a song.
Before I forget to say this, the proof of it for me is how many times did Venom play At War with Satan or any of the B-sides live on that.
How many songs of Possessed?
How many songs of Possessed did we play live?
Or
That isn't.
do
does not
either
show
of the two
confidence.
bands play in that? You know,
It
neither
doesn't show
of the
confidence.
bands play those songs. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
Otherwise, songs will always leap out. You've got a big collection of 10 songs. You know, something must want to come out of it, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
So, like I say, for me, it was just something that happened. It's the same as Judas Priest was Nosferatu. Not Nosferatu, Nostradamus. Nostradamus. I mean, I bought the box set, the vinyls, everything. I'm a Priest fan. But I think I've played it once or twice.
It was like The Elder, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Kiss the Elder, you know.
I quite like it.
I still go back to the classic songs, though.
Yeah. I think you're saying about you quite like it. I still quite like The Elder. I don't think anybody out of Kiss would even thank you for it.
No.
I mean, I agree. I like the War with Satan. I think it's a great piece. I like the length of it. But I think probably, in retrospect, you can go, oh, it was overambitious, it was a bit too chewy, we shouldn't have done that, we should have done something else. In hindsight, you have that, but at the time you're caught in.
I think what I was kind of getting at was the band. Don't forget, we were learning to be a band.
Yeah.
We were learning the instruments.
Yeah.
Like Jeff said, we were learning what a compressor and a reverb was. We were learning our art in the studio, but at the same time, I've forgotten what I was going to say. Nope, it's gone.
Next question.
Yeah,
But I think the impact of it was that, regardless of what they say, I think, like you,
No, that was it.
it was something that nobody would do. A metal band wouldn't do that. Venom was going to do a concept. I mean, it was like so out there. That's why people went, that's fucking great. The fact that it just did it. So even though you would feel it's a mishmash of things, it was again another thing that people would not do. It's like the photograph Tony said, you know, you can't not show your face. How are you going to sell it? But that's the idea. You know, we do a concept album. Did you really? Nobody does concept albums. Brilliant, put it out.
Well, we did.
Brilliant.
But I mean, what I was going to get to was that those collection of riffs that made up that song, had we been further down the line, we're being better at musicality, better at production and whatever.
Probably would have been double-sided.
And we would have shaped the edges off some of the riffs that bumped together.
Yeah.
We would have been, you know, we would have looked at it better. As it was, it got crushed together and put out quickly the way all them songs do, but a 2-minute song is a 2-minute song.
Yeah.
And when you've got this big long song, it's supposed to be a big piece.
Yeah.
Does that clashing
But
thing work?
I think the beauty of it in its part is again the chaos.
Yeah.
That it's smashing into each
But
other.
you know where it is.
You know,
It's what you're saying. Some people really like it, and some people really don't.
Yeah.
So it must be worthy. It must have some note.
Oh, don't get me wrong. You know, I've met a lot of people who love At War with Satan.
Yeah, I met a lot of people.
I've met a lot of people who At War with Satan is their favourite album.
Yeah.
I've also met people who say The Wastelands is their favourite Venom album.
Yeah.
So everybody, and that speaks volumes to me, which it means that it's not just, as we say in England, a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like that is the album. But the two albums which have been inducted into the Hall of Fame in America and for Decibel magazine, Rock and Hell and Black Metal.
So unfortunately, we are running out of time.
Oh,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right.
This is going to be the last question. So,
Right.
so you down-tuned the guitar and bass by 3 semitones. That was very rare back then.
Do you know why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I copied a lot of Venom songs.
Let's hear your version, and then I'll tell you mine.
My version is we didn't have a tuner.
There you go. And do you know what your tune do?
Welcome to Hell.
No, your tune do in League
League with Satan, yeah.
We recorded in League with
That's
Satan
right, yeah.
in whatever time. He would say to the bass player, "Give me an E," and he'd go E, and it was whatever.
Whatever it
he
happened to
thought
be.
E was. He had no tune, so he just tuned it, then tuned the other strings to that string. He said, "Give us an E." E. He went, "Right, that's my E. So now I'm in tune with you."
And then they
But
played.
the tuning is just whatever's in this room. But then we recorded it in League with. So then they went.
They had a reference.
The producer said, "So what are you going to tune to?" And they went, "What?" And I said, "What are you going to tune to?" So there's discussion, very quick discussion before we did Welcome to Hell. They ran downstairs and put a vinyl record, which wows and flutters and it moves, So the tuning's like, the tuning aspect of it is like,
So that was we tuned to that for the album,
yeah.
and then when we eventually got a tuner, we then looked at it and went, oh, it's pretty close to C sharp, so we'll go to C
That's
sharp.
what we are.
That's what we
That's what
are.
we've become.
But that's what I was saying
Who
about.
knew?
That's what I was saying about people saying, how did you come up with this concept, the
yes.
sound? How did you do this? It's like ignorance. We hadn't a fucking clue what we were
I think
doing.
accident.
Yeah, but
Accident. Okay.
But the Primal Evil has a normal tuning.
Yes, it does.
So why did you change?
Because, well, I played in standard tuning, so we wrote quite separately. You know, I wrote some stuff when Abaddon left me. I wrote some stuff with those albums in mind because I wanted whatever I contributed, I wanted it to be what I felt from those original two records.
Yeah.
You know, anybody who likes any Venom record, Hell, Metal Black, Wastelands, Temples of Light, anything, you know, is all justified. But any single person who likes any other album will always cite the first two albums as being, you know, those holy grails. And there was an ambience there, not just the material. There was something going on. We had to try and recapture that away. But I'd been playing in my band all in standard tuning, so foolishly we went that way.
Yeah, but don't forget, again, it comes back to the last question. We were learning how to do these things, so a tuner became a thing that turned up at the rehearsal room. It was never there before.
Yeah.
So this piece of equipment turned up.
Yeah.
Let's use this.
Yeah.
And
the only reason I ever was in a standard tuner in the 440 was because there was a much older guy who used to do all of our early recordings in my other band, and he'd go, why is that not matching that one? And he used to tune them for us.
Yeah,
They were
right.
brilliant.
Right.
And I'd always make sure and nobody touched me A string, so I had some reference.
Don't touch it, not even me.
Yeah, so I
Just
not
them three.
play it, so I could tune up with it. So, yeah.
But tonight it's C sharp.
C sharp.
Ah, okay, great.
It's been C sharp forever.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
very much.
Thanks.
So
Thank you very much.
great.